Now children, in the last video I covered the pillar of grammar, which was be and forms of be. I'm taking the second pillar, which is have, and I have written the various forms of have. The other two pillars, which is do and get, we are not going to do because these two pillars are more important. Now I am going to discuss the usage, how we use the verb have in English grammar. Okay, in English grammar, children, when we are taking have as a main verb. For example, I have a pen. Now this here, the main verb is have. Okay, and in this sentence, have is showing some kind of possession. Okay, meaning that you own something. All right. Whereas if I say I am having a burger, here having doesn't show possession or belongingness, but here you are referring to any action which is eating. Okay, I'm having, or you can see, so have is generally used for eating also as a main verb, and have is also used as a main verb to show possession. Okay, for example, I have many friends. Here you can say I have 2 dictionaries. Okay, we are having a nice time. We are having a nice time means that we are experiencing, not eating. Okay, now if you see here, I have written a sentence in which have is used as a helping verb. Okay, I have finished my work. Have finished. Have as a helping verb here, which is denoting the perfect tense. So when we make the perfect tense, I'll explain you this in the coming videos, how to make perfect tense. So when we make perfect tense, we use have as a helping verb. So if you have to denote any action which is already completed, we use have. Now talking about the present tense, children, present tense, present time, when you say simple present, we use the first form of the verb. So if I say that I have finished, okay, I have finished, have is the first form of the verb. Okay, so this is in present. If we have to say the same sentence in the past tense, that means simple past tense. So instead of have, I am going to use the second form of the verb, which is had. So I will say I had finished, or here I will say I had a pen. I was having. Here past will be denoted with the helping verb am. Okay, so I had finished, I had a pen. So the second form of the verb have is used for denoting the past tense. Now children, if we talk about the future, let me explain you about some facts about the future tense also. For future tense, will and shall are used. Okay, like if I say here will and shall are used for denoting the future or denoting the future. Okay, now if we are talking about simple future tense, okay, simple future tense, here we will use will or shall plus verb's base form. Now base form is the verb itself. Okay, so verb's base form. Now while explaining the verbs, I explained you what is the verb base form. Verb base form is nothing but the verb itself. Alright, so here if we are going to talk about, okay, in future, that I will have a pen, so I am going to write it as future, I will have a pen. Now here I am using will to denote the future, and have is the verb's base form, which is the verb itself. Okay, so this is how we make sentences in the future tense. If I am asked to make this in simple future, I have finished. So I will write in simple future, like I said, will or shall plus verb base form. So I will say I will have finished. Okay, will plus verb base form. Clear? So this is how we make future, simple future tense sentence. Now another thing, earlier the usage of will and shall, I want to make this thing clear. Earlier, children, it was a rule in English that with the subjects I and we, always we used shall, and for other subjects like he, she and they, we used to use will. Okay, but now there is no such distinction. Okay, now we do not follow this rule. This rule is outdated. Okay, and now we use will with all the subjects. Now will is used with I, we, he, she, it, they, or with all the subjects will is used. Now what about shall? How is shall used and where is shall used? Okay, so shall is used under certain circumstances where we are very sure, we are very certain. Okay, for example, there is an India-Pakistan match and you say India shall win, means it's certain that India will win. Okay, so when you are very certain about something, we use shall. Okay, if ma'am says that you have not submitted your assignment and you say, ma'am, I shall submit it tomorrow, means that you are very, very certain that you are going to submit it tomorrow. Alright, when you are very determined, okay, when you set targets that I shall never speak or never tell lies. Okay, so when you are very determined that now you have made a resolution, when you make a resolution, I shall always be punctual. Okay, when you make a resolution, when you take a vow. Okay, yes, now vows is, one is the exclamatory word, that is vow, but this is vows is those promises. Okay, when you promise someone, all right, then you always say that I shall stand by you, I shall stand by you forever. Okay, so that's a vow. In the speech of the politicians, when you take an oath, okay, when you take an oath also, that then you use shall. While taking a pledge, if you remember the pledge of our country, India is my country and all Indians are my brothers and sisters and I shall. Okay, so while taking an oath or a pledge also, we use shall. Okay, so this is the difference. Now the shall is basically used for these all things. Otherwise, generally when we talk, we always use will to denote the future. Okay, children, I think I have covered all the topics which were there in the chapter. Now you are expected to do the exercise of this chapter. Thank you.